Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of my CD collection, and now I'm going to continue on with more female artists. I'll get onto the male part later. And first is Mariah Carey's Number Ones. I picked this up a couple of months ago when I was a bit interested to hear some of her previous hits again over the years, like Hero, Vision of Love, and I'm glad I got this. Next is Beyonce, I Am Sasha Fierce, the Platinum Edition. I used to have the first edition before, and then when this came out I got rid of the old version and I've kept this one. And yeah, it's got some really great songs on it, great variety, you know, the I Am Sasha, you know, the two sides. I do prefer the, you know, the dancier sides of the songs like Single Ladies and Sweet Dreams, rather than, you know, Halo and If I Were a Boy. And I've also got Beyonce 4, the deluxe edition. Even though I actually wish I did pick up the normal edition in this version, but ended up having this one. And I like the direction she's gone in on this album. I think it's a lot more mature than I Am Sasha Fierce. And even though on first listening to this I found it a little bit too dull and dreary, but after a few listens I've grown to love it. And my favourite song on here is Love on Top, definitely. I think I can safely say that I prefer this than I Am Sasha Fierce. Next is Rihanna Loud, which, along with Rated R, which I don't have, is my favourite Rihanna album. I think this was when she was at her peak, you know, where, you know, just creative point. I think this wasn't a rush either. I like the direction she went in. I love the imagery with the red hair and the red setting, like the video for Only Girl in the World. Great variety of songs on here as well. I love California Dream Bed, and also like Cheers, Drink to That. Next is Unapologetic. I did have Talk That Talk from Rihanna, but I absolutely hated it and I just ended up giving it to someone, so no offence, but I didn't like it. But I got Unapologetic, and I think this is a much better improvement from Talk That Talk. Still nowhere as good as Rated R and Loud, but you know, it's a lot more better. It's not as rushed, and it has it's more about the music than, you know, raunchy lyrics. And yeah, I love the single Diamonds, and I also love Stay as well. I do prefer the second half of the album than the first. So Christina Aguilera, Bionic. I picked this up a few years ago when it was first released, and I found it okay. A bit too, you know, two different albums clumped together and it didn't work, and then I got rid of it. And then when Lotus was released not long ago, I loved Lotus and I thought I'd re-buy this one, and I like it a lot more this time round than before. And yeah, and of course Lotus, which I think is an amazing album. I think it's in the same league as Stripped and Back to Basics, even though I don't own those two albums, but I really want to pick them up very soon. And the majority of the songs on here could be hit singles. It's just a shame that it hasn't done very well. Next I got Pink, The Truth About Love. This is the only Pink album I own. I really would like to get the greatest hits at some point. But again, a great rocky album, I could say, with pop influences. My favourite song in here is probably Just Give Me a Reason. Next is Shania Twain, The Greatest Hits. I love Shania Twain. I think she's got an amazing voice. I don't know any of the albums. I've just got The Greatest Hits, and it's enough for me anyway. She don't do music these days, but I really would like to make a big comeback. That'd be nice. Clarkson, Breakaway. I always keep getting confused that this is her debut album, but it's not. It's just the second album. I haven't even got her first album, but this just feels like a first album for me. It's just so original, and it has some great songs on here, like Since You've Been Gone, Behind These Hazel Eyes, Because of You, of course. It's just an amazing album. Next is the very risk-taking Kelly Clarkson's My December. You know, the record company didn't want to originally release this because it was just too dark, but I'm glad she got the upper hand and released it eventually. It just sounds so amazing, and it's just amazing. You know, it's great for any Kelly Clarkson fan to have in their collection, even though it's slightly different to her previous music. And then she went back to a slightly more pop sound with All I Ever Wanted, which again I love. It's a very colourful, vibrant album, just like the album cover itself. And my favourite songs on here are, I do like I Do Not Hook Up. I wish it was a bigger hit. Next is another amazing album by Carey, Stronger. I actually thought I wouldn't like this album, but I ended up loving it just as much as the other 3 albums. And it's got some really amazing singles off here. I'm just a bit sad that the campaign ended a bit too early after Dark Side flopped a bit, but I'm just grateful that I've got it. And next is The Greatest Hits, Chapter 1 by Clarkson, and this is an amazing package to have. I'm really glad that she's released The Greatest Hits at last, and I cannot wait to hear what she does in the future. Clarkson is an amazing performer and artist, and she deserves all the success. Next is Nelly Furtado, Wow Nelly. I've had this for years, but I can't really remember it. The only songs I remember are Beep on the radio, and of course the singles I'm Like a Bird and Turn Off the Light. And it's a slightly earthy album, I remember. It's a very natural album. It's great to listen to outdoors, and I need to really listen to this actually, because I do remember liking it. Also got Nelly Furtado Folklore, which is a lot more acoustic than Well Nelly. I do like this album, but it's got a big huge sticker mark on the back, so I want to try and get that off at some point. And I can't really remember much about this one either, but I've got it. Nelly Furtado Loose, what can I say, a great R&B album. Even though I do prefer the original style she's done on these two, but it's got some amazing songs on here. Of course, like Man Eater, Say It Right, All Good Things Come to an End, Prominicious. It's just amazing. It just reminds me of my school days as well when it was released. Amazing time in my life. Nelly Furtado, The Spirit Indestructible. I'm really good that this has flopped. I was hoping big things for this album, but no, it hasn't. So sad. Next is Lady Gaga, The Fame. Brilliant debut album. A lot of the hits on here just outstanding. I really like the song I Like It Rough. I think that's probably my favourite song in the album, considering that it's had some amazing single releases, but I just love that song so much. And I bought this ages after it was released, and I wish I bought it when it was first released, just so it felt more fresh to me and more brand new, but now I got it later on. And I got Lady Gaga, The Fame Monster, a lot more dark and a lot more experimental than The Fame. I love the imagery for The Fame Monster as well, with all the the more unique costumes, I think. Then I got Lady Gaga, Born This Way, which I've listened to over and over again, and then I stopped listening to it, and then I sort of forgot what it sounded like. And I listened to it a few days ago actually, and it all came back to me. Just so I'm prepared to listen to art pop, which I know a lot of you watching will be excited for art pop, and I'll definitely be doing an unboxing of that. And I got Lady Gaga The Remix, which is a great selection of songs on here, and I love the artwork. Next is Kelis, Tasty. It's a very raunchy album, but amazing R&B album actually. I really do recommend anyone picking this up, because a lot of the songs in it could have been hit singles, even though it's got some amazing hits like Milkshake, Trick Me, and there's a song in it called Millionaire with Andre 3000, which is timeless. Next is Nicole Scherzinger, Killer Love. I picked this up because I loved, I thought Poison was okay. Then Don't Hold Your Breath was released, and I loved that. And then I picked up the album, and then I started to love Poison a lot more. And then the other songs were released, like Right There and Wet. And I think this is a pretty good album actually. I think it was given a lot of hate. I think I would have, if I was Nicole, I would have stripped 2 of the songs off this album, just to make it slightly shorter with a bit less filler, because there are a couple of filler tracks, but the majority of the songs on here are amazing R&B. Next is No Doubt the Singles 1992 to 2003. It's a great CD to have in your collection. A lot of the songs I haven't heard for years and years and years and now come back to me, especially Yeah Baby, Hey Baby, sorry, and yeah, it sounds amazing. I like No Doubt now, and I also got No Doubt Push and Shove, which I've only listened to about 5 times and I can't really remember what it sounds like, but I do know the majority of them. I love Settle Down, that's probably my favourite single they've released. Looking Hot was okay. I did like it though when they performed on the X Factor. Next is Rita Ora, and I do like this album, but I really would like to hear her progress a bit more with her music. Considering it's very typical R&B, like Rihanna, how it sounds and stuff, but there's a couple of really great songs on here, like How We Do, Party. I also like the new song Radioactive as well. There's a couple of songs that I'm not really keen on, like the first song Face Melt, which sounds very bizarre and a bit too weird for me. But yeah. Next is the much loved Noisettes Contact, which was a gift off David and Boxes, and I love this album. It's a great colourful album, it's very risk taking, it deserved a lot more success, and I am looking into getting Wild Young Hearts, the second album, and have them both as packages because they're both unique. It's just a shame this album didn't do much bigger. I just love the artwork so much, it's just got amazing artwork, and I love the song I Want You Back and That Girl. Next is Sugababes, Angels with Dirty Faces. I've had this CD for years and years and years since its first release, so it's a very important album of my life. It's very personal, and I think it's an amazing album to listen to these days, considering the original Sugababes have got back together as Mucha, Keisha and Siobhan. And I'm very excited to hear their debut single Boys, which will be out soon, hopefully. And my favourite songs off here are Freak Like Me and Stronger. And there's also a song in here called Supernatural, which I love. And I've also got Free, which again is another amazing Sugababes album. The singles off this are spectacular, like Hole in the Head, In the Middle, Caught in a Moment, and my favourite song of this album, Too Lost in You. It's just a beautiful song. If I could cover any song ever in the world, I'd cover Too Lost in You. I've also got Taller in More Ways by Sugababes. This is the last Sugababes album I own from this lineup, and it's a slightly more popular album than the R&B-ness of the previous two, and it is really good, but you know, after this I sort of really lost interest in them. When they released About You Now, I just hated that song with a passion, and I think that's it for Sugababes. I just don't like it. Next I'm going to show you my Madonna videos before I wrap this video up. I've got Madonna, the debut album, fantastic. I'm just going to whiz through these. Like a Virgin, brilliant sophomore album. True Blue, which is my favourite. Like a Prayer, a very more mature album, and I like the direction Madonna went in on this album. Deserves a digitally mastered version now. Erotica, a bit too long for me, but I do like the sound on this album. Bit of big band and everything. I love the song Deeper and Deeper. Bedtime Stories, a more R&B approach, and it's quite nice. I also like the blue tinted holder. My favourite song in is Take a Bow, for definite. Ray of Light, this is an amazing Madonna album, probably my second favourite Madonna album behind True Blue. Just a brilliant comeback. I love the sound on here as well, it's very earthy. I love anything earthy. Madonna music, not as good as Ray of Light, but it's a nice club banging album to listen to. And my favourite songs on here are I like Impressive Instant and Don't Tell Me, and I also like American Pie as well, the cover version. Hard Candy, this was okay, you know, not my favourite, a bit too much. MDNA, brilliant album. I think it's a lot better than Hard Candy, and it's just a shame that the singles flopped on it, but it's great to own. And lastly, Celebration, which was my first Madonna album I had, and then it made me want to get all the albums, and it's a brilliant package to have in the collection. And that is it for part 2, and I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for part 3.